She laughed, right in his face. "Sir, you clearly don't belong here." And before he could even answer, 2 security guards grabbed his arm. People whispered, judged, and stared like he was a thief. But 5 minutes later, that same hostess was trembling, because when he finally spoke, everything stopped. Ever been judged before they knew your story? This one will hit you. Stick around till the end, because what he says will change how you see respect and silence forever. If stories like this inspire you, hit that subscribe button right now. Let's begin. The sun bounced off the Mediterranean waters like diamonds at afternoon. Private yachts floated like clouds across the harbor. Champagne flutes clinked gently in the wind. An expensive perfume trailed behind laughter. Isaiah Brooks stood quietly at the marina's edge, adjusting his sunglasses. Dressed in a crisp white linen shirt, tan slacks, and loafers, he held a simple leather wallet and a quiet presence. It was his first time back in Monaco in over a decade, not as a tourist, but as the keynote speaker for a global innovation summit, and more privately, as the owner of the luxury tech company that had just acquired 51% stake in Ethereum Yachts, the brand hosting the event. But Isaiah never liked drawing attention to himself. He stepped onto the dock of the largest vessel, the Celeste Pearl, his name not on the guest list because, well, he never submitted it. After all, he owned the boat now. "Sir? Sir!" a woman's voice rang out. He turned. A tall, blonde hostess in an expensive fitted blazer marched toward him with practiced grace and disapproval in her eyes. "I'm going to have to ask you to step back," she said, folding her arms. Isaiah raised a brow. "Is there a problem?" She gave a tight smile. "This is a private party. Invite only. I'm sure you're looking for something else." Before he could respond, 2 security men emerged from a yacht and flanked him. Now people were watching. Champagne paused mid-sip. Laughter died mid-note. One older couple turned away like his very presence was an inconvenience. Isaiah chuckled softly. "Interesting. Look, I'm trying to be polite," the hostess whispered. "We've had issues before. You don't belong here." His smile didn't reach his eyes. "And what do people who belong here look like exactly?" She blinked, lips tight. "Let's not make this into something it's not." "I'm not," he replied calmly. "But you are." One security guard touched his arm. "You'll need to leave, sir." Isaiah stepped back, raising both hands. "All right, you want me gone?" He looked up at the yacht, where a few executives from the company, white, well-dressed, confused, were beginning to notice the disturbance. "Give me 60 seconds, Isaiah said. "If, after that, you still want me off this boat, I'll leave quietly." The hostess laughed. "You don't get a bargain." But he already had his phone out. He made one call. Short, simple. The person on the other end answered in 3 seconds. "Hey, George? Yeah, it's Isaiah. Tell them I'll be addressing the board in 10. "Oh, and can you let Madison know I've arrived?" He hung up, eyes on the hostess. "Now, shall I wait here, or would you prefer I board my yacht?" Silence. A shift. One of the nearby guests lowered their sunglasses. "You're Mr. Brooks?" she whispered, her mouth suddenly dry. He didn't answer. He didn't need to. Moments later, the CEO of Ethereum Yachts, a flushed, balding man named George Connolly, rushed down the ramp. "Isaiah, my God, I'm so sorry." His eyes darted to the frozen staff. "Who told you to?" "It's fine," Isaiah said, waving him off. "I prefer quiet entrances. But this," he turned to the hostess, "this isn't quiet. This is humiliation." George looked like he'd been punched. The guests stared in stunned silence. Isaiah turned to the gathering crowd. "It's fascinating, isn't it? I dress a little too casual. I walk a little too confidently. And suddenly I'm a threat." The hostess's face was pale. Isaiah's voice softened, but his words cut sharp. "I was mistaken for everything today, except the one thing I actually am." George tried to speak. Isaiah raised a hand. "Don't worry. I'm not angry. I've experienced worse. But I wonder," he turned to the onlookers, "how many of you have stood up and said something, even if you had known?" He looked at the hostess. "Here's what I want you to do," he said gently. "Take the rest of the day off. Reflect on this moment. Not because I'm your boss, but because this It's costing more than you know. Then he boarded the yacht, not with arrogance, but with the kind of calm only a man who's been underestimated his whole life can wear. And as the boat pushed off into the Mediterranean sunset, whispers turned into apologies and judgments into self-reflection. Isaiah didn't press charges. He didn't fire the hostess. A week later, she sent him a handwritten letter. In it, she confessed that moment on the dock had shattered something inside her, a worldview she didn't even realize she held. She was raised to be polite. But polite wasn't the same as just or right. Isaiah's lesson? Sometimes power isn't in raising your voice. It's in knowing when to speak and what to say when you do. So tell me, have you ever been judged by how you looked before anyone knew who you were? Let's talk about it in the comments. And if stories like this make you think deeper, feel stronger, or see clearer, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Direct it, stay powerful. Stay calm. Speak wisely.